Okay, that's a good one. That's
Right?
a good one.
No, they're called the AFAM members, by the way.
They're called what?
AFAM.
A fam.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's a Filipino thing.
I think you need to change.
No.
The Big Dammers sounds good.
Big
man.
Dammers.
The Big
Yeah.
Dammers.
What's up, Big Dammers?
I feel like if you ask them, they will all be cool with it.
Oh. I think they are. They have to be.
Dexter, it's our show
Hey,
time.
what? They're gonna say no to you?
Exactly.
That's true.
Claude.
He even agreed.
Yeah, there's no way.
Let's go to the draft here, boys.
Claude ban, by the way. Yangon are done with that. Boxer
Hellcurt ban?
Yeah, not yet so far. Maybe because they've already banned out the boxer. But again, we've seen that even if there's no utility jungle,
Yeah.
Blink is probably going to be like, "Yo, coach."
Put that one in.
Like, what are chances they're gonna counter me? None, right? They're just the L. I don't know if they laugh like that, but you know.
I don't know if Yangon laugh like that.
Yeah,
but
I
if
do.
they do,
Yeah.
You're, oh, they banned Eve. They're not going to ban out the Hellcurt. Okay, Yangon.
So they might just trade what? Do you think this is potentially either Jushin? Yeah, Jushin. Grok, again, one of the higher win rate heroes right now. First pick blue side. By the way, it seems like we've went from the alter ego drums to now the TL drums here.
We got a pretty big fan base for TLID here,
Yeah.
so
It's just the previous season there were not a lot of cheering.
yeah. So now
Because,
they've all converted to PH fans.
Now they're all
from
Filipino
TLID to TLPH fans. By the way, YG are winning the fandom war.
Wow!
Wow, YG.
Shout outs to YG. Oh, Jushin man.
Got us at Burmese, man. They really are coming in guns blazing with support.
That's so cool, man. I mean,
You're so cool.
You got to remember, I just want to throw this out there because we had this in the video earlier on where they did mention it. It was Aurora Turkey that mentioned the drums, which I don't know if it's all coming through the stream right now, actually affected them when they played against Alter Ego, right? So that's something that could play a part here with Yangon Galacticos.
Oh!
This is interesting.
Oh my God.
First pick Yuzhong.
Oh my God.
I feel like we're back a couple of years ago in Jakarta, man. M4.
Yeah, and the fact that it was left open, it's 100% contention rate up until like, I think day number 2 or day number 3, and then we just don't see it. But never, you should never leave it open against Sanford is, I think, the general consensus for most teams. Yangon are playing with fire.
Hey, Coach Mars knows Coach RC very, very well. I feel like they just value something else even more.
Yeah.
Because you know that they will pick up either a Yuzong or a Grok, right? So I feel like it's okay to let go of the Yuzong if you can get something better. The question is, what's better right now?
Well, Kalea's pretty good. They will get themselves a Kalea, and then they go with the Barca. So this is what I was saying about Yangon Galacticos. Like, yes, we talked all about, Blink's potential picks, the Hellcurt, for example, but I do feel like going up against a team like Team Liquid is where you really want to go ahead and go with your fundamentals. And in the current meta, what we're seeing, these are two quality picks that you can go for. You've got great setup potential, great damage early on, start to finish with a Farsa. It's just the only weak point of the Farsa, obviously, is once that feather airstrike is down, that's that window for the opposing team to play into. So you want to go ahead and complement that the best way you can with their next 3 picks.
I wonder if TL wants to get a lead here. Oh, they go for the Gato instead.
Okay. A solid answer. I think it was the classic answer to the Kalea. It actually worked out for Light as well, even though, again, the Gato is standing at a pretty bad win rate right now.
Yeah.
It really comes down to the users and the rest of the team. How are you able to coordinate with the Gatakacha? So it's a Yusun Chin as well for Carl TZ. Yangon Galacticos. Do they reveal their jungler now, or do they flex it to the end like we have seen from Yangon Galacticos in the MSL Myanmar Season 2?
I wonder what's good here because I'm still not understanding the matchup for Leomord. I know this is a Leomord kind of game because the other one is the Hayabusa, but I feel like we'll have some difficulties, especially if Sanford does win the lane. I'm just worried if you're using Assassins. So they go for the Granger. And again, something that we did discuss, does have higher priority when the Claude is not there anymore.
Yeah. But this means that Yangon Galacticos are going to be very front to back, right? They're going to build the rest of their composition to really just facilitate the Granger and the Farsa. So, Fredrin is something that we were thinking about, but it's already not too good when you see a Yuzong on the other side.
Yeah, that's going to be tough because, what do you put in the hands here of...
Are we smelling another cheese here? Something that we don't even think about?
The only thing I was thinking is maybe he goes for the Guinevere again. I don't know. Because like one of the tough things here is like we mentioned, Guinevere there's specific junglers that are picking that up. It hasn't won that much. And it's one of those things you're considering you're going against a YSS. That's actually a good ban, though. They do go with the Ruby ban. As I mentioned the last time the YSS game got played, typically you'll see some fighter golds get picked up. There's the Fredrin ban Mirko mentioned. So both teams really understanding the potential here for these lineups based off that first phase already.
Is it the Akai next, or are you going to ban the Gwyn here? Because I think...
No, because I can see the Gwyn, but the reason why I'm not liking the Gwyn is that I feel like they need a front line, not a set, right? Because you can get a set on the EXP. I don't know, like,
Magic is my life.
other than Akai, I don't know what other jungler is a solid frontliner. Like, it's not just coming to my head.
I really like the respect, by the way, from both these teams, right? Because usually when you're already on Team Liquid side and you have Yu Zhong, you don't really think to ban the Fredrin because you want to have control over the neutral objective, and you can technically Petrify Fierce Dive him so that Yi Sun Shin can, make a run for it for the red tree. But they still ban it because it's what YG need in their composition to fill in the gaps right now for Peel. And I love the fact that YG banned out the Harith as well. They're just taking away the comfort picks of Oheb. Yes, Farsa Granger, pretty good matchup against the Harith, but now that he's put into this position, he might have to go back on, say, a carry. Something that is pretty good, but...
in that matchup, unfavorable.
Yes, but also a bit traumatic, I think, after the whole gank him 9 times by SRG.
Yeah. But he could also just opt for, I don't know, a fighter still. Like maybe, the CC since the Ruby's gone or something else. Maybe there's something else that Oheb has had planned for this lineup. If it is a traditional marksman, for example, and you're going against a Granger, then yeah, there's not too many options that we've seen at least brought out already in M7. So this is kind of what we're expecting them to do. Do they opt for marksman with space to work with? It looks like they're going to go Sora. So Sora Valentina, the Sora Gold.
Wow.
They saw it happen, and this is learning from experience right here.
There you go. In the last day, they've been busy working on what they should go for next or what picks they have to work on. And I guess Oheb has learned a thing or two.
Yeah, now this Valentina makes it awkward.
Upon the edge.
So they go for the Nolan. I was thinking of Nolan as well.
But there's not enough peel for the Farsa Granger.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
that's why I say it's very awkward.
Yeah.
This is why I don't like Uranus pick. The only time I really like it was Cram using it. Basically just a moving wall, pushing everyone away.
Yeah.
And the utility is for everyone else. Here, not enough utility. Not for me.
Like you just don't like the Uranus in general. Or this specific lineup.
I would say, in general, I don't like it, but the lineup makes me not like it even more. That's how I would say it.
I think of this way, it's mainly just, like, because of the lineup, you got to be able to provide that front line and that vision in a way.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the promotion match for both Team Liquid as well as Yangon Galacticos. Winner for this one will get match point and one step closer to getting to knockouts.
So we know what's at stake here for both the teams. Yangon Galacticos, a team that came into M7 surprising and shocking many of the international viewers who saw them for the first time. Had a very strong showing throughout their journey up to this point, and now face off against the Giant in Team Liquid. Definitely a test ahead of them, but they've done it before. They can do it here. It is a best of 3, of course. And if they can secure themselves that spot in the knockouts off a win here against a team like Team Liquid, that would be massive for Yangon Galacticos.
So the way that Yangon Galacticos can really use their lineup here if they move fast, because having a Kalia, Farsa, Nolan, they can move pretty fast. And if they get some kind of lead for Ying, Ying can start living in the jungle of Team Liquid.
Oh, flicker out already for Sanji very early on. That's a big spell burned out.
Yeah, and I want to see more of that. If Yangon Galacticos, again, able to get Ying a favorable matchup against Sanford, and then just make sure that Carl does not get to farm ever, then that's a game where Yangon Galacticos can utilize the best aspects of each hero on their lineup.
Yeah. Part of that, too, is, again, the pressure that a Farsa can bring early on throughout the course of the game. But now we're seeing more and more of the Nolan, and I feel like that paired up with a Farsa works really well because they either work interchangeably. That you can either pop off a couple feathered airstrikes, soften up the targets, Nolan can swoop in, or vice versa. Noland allows you to go ahead and soften them up before the feathered airstrike is dropped down, and not to mention all this to play into Stitch, just like we saw in the hands of Dominkite. If he can go ahead, get a couple early kills, build up the stacks that he needs on the Sky Piercer, and work with this space. I feel like that might be one of the harder things, because you can see he's running the Flicker instead of the Purify, for example, that we saw earlier. So this first turtle looks like it's just going to be a clean take for TL.
Yep, beautifully done. Sanji steals away the Tsunami Slam just in case Yangon Galacticos walk up, but this is the signature Liquid style. They are able to build such a big lead off the start of the game through Turtle because it's free when you have a Yuzong.
Yeah, like, Sanford, can you win lane? Yes. Okay, we basically get Turtle for free. Sanford is showcasing since, I would say since M4, on how important EXP really is for the jungler, right? Making sure that you get free objectives, essentially.
Okay, Sanji can hold on to his own Kalei ult. Oh, blink.
Tsunami Slam now into the Fracture, and they get him down. Oheb tries to run him down now with the AOG helping him out. Blink's going to be locked down, and that's a kill over to Carl Teasy as he snipes him with the arrow.
All right, bit of a trade. Now some pressure on this side of the jungle, though.
Red tree on Han. Mountain Shocker hawks him down to Traceless now. Does he snipe him? And he does. The goat doesn't miss.
He tried to bob and weave, man. He forgot the weave.
Hey. Pretty sure if the second skill was off cooldown, he could have gotten away. And yeah, Team Liquid dared to draft. I kind of want the skills just a little bit, but Carl on this decent shit, already getting early advantages, having 2 kills. That's all the team has, and it's all on him.
Okay, so early on, a little bit of a setup potential, of course, now on both sides. Sanji, for the most part, I think he will usually opt for that Tsunami Slam, otherwise Lena's Feathered Airstrike. But even looking at the item potential here, pretty much even across the board, albeit a little bit of gold ahead in the jungle, but that's going to be expected with the 2 kills for Carl Teasy. And this is one of the best starts you can have with a YSS, of course, you know, and this is one of the heroes that he probably played the most in the regional professional league over in the Philippines, so it's a very standard for Carl Teasy to rotate the way he has. And interesting, too, because Oheb on this Sora is going to act a little bit different than what we saw earlier today. Obviously, with the Sora in the XP lane, works differently in terms of itemization, damage potential. You can expect to see similar things that we saw in the hands of Innocent. But now, the second turtle of the game, it looks like Yangon wants to fight for it, but they're forced off of it.
Yeah, there's no way you can contest when there's Sanford on the Yuzong. Goes on Lina. Doesn't want to go all in, just petrifies him and zones him back. Oheb as well this time, rotating over towards the neutral objective.
Yeah, they're just playing it clean, making it so that Yangon Galacticos, even if they want to, they can't really get a trade. This is basically Team Liquid showing how you can get things for free without giving any opportunities for your opponents. Speaking of,
Carl gonna go for it. CC view not in time. That's Tsunami Slam over. Feathered Airstrike from Lina gets the goat down.
All right, good pick off there. That's not too much you can do against that, especially if you're Carl Teasy and you get caught in that position. Flicker was used for it. There's an Unbreakable.
And an AOG locks him down. Sanji will be there to pick up the kill, steals the Fracture away as well, but will just splash him to take him out.
I would appreciate it if his friends stayed there, help him out, because I feel like that was quite enough time for some backup to come through, because I like that Yangon Galacticos understand that Team Liquid is not giving them the opportunity to catch anyone, so they had to be proactive. They forced that one. But the thing is, having a Farsa, I kind of feel like you could have given the space, but you know, let be-gons, you know?
Yeah, that's how you have to handle it. That's a lot of damage to that Tier 1 turret too. Looking at this, you know, you have Stitch pretty much roaming around trying to double lane in some positions. He's already got a Sky Piercer, but the gold is pretty much even as Oheb has been able to farm up. Nice little take on the gold crab there, but bit of an advantage in terms of Oheb. Item-wise, he's already got the War Axe built in, working on his next. So what is the gold lane build for Sora? Have we seen a couple different variations of it?
No, I feel like it's just going to be War Axe into defensive items, and then we're all good.
He just does that much damage.
Great turret down below, by the way. Great zoning by Oheb. Good position by JP as well, covering all bases before taking the objective.
Here's the problem, man. Just like you mentioned in the draft, the Yuzhong first pick over, especially to a specialist like Sanford. Hold on. Conceal. And I think that's going to stop them in their tracks. That's what I was saying. Unless Han can get around here. They know the Black Dragon form's gone.
No. Purify out by Ying. Doesn't have consecration for the airstrike coming down, but Sanford misses the petrified of Peter's dive. Han's there with the fracture to take him out with the help of Lena. Tsunami slam steal from Sanji to bring him to Carl Teasy.
Right now for Yangon Galacticos, they're trying, they're really trying to get any kind of catch. And even though, yes, they got Sanford there, but there's no way for it to be clean. Because no matter who you catch, someone's there to counter.
No Purify, that's the AOG landing. And then the Mountain Shocker, JP, takes the kill.
This is probably one of the more aggressive Gatakachas you'll see if you're watching MLBB competitive play. A lot of the times when the Gatakachas picked up, you see so many defensive Avatar of the Guardians that Ultimate used, but with JP, they're able to time things so well, especially when you have a YSS on your side. There's a lot of layering of crowd control you can throw on top, and you know, you're able to secure these kills. Meanwhile, this whole time, like I said, Oheb has been able to just go ahead and farm up. Stitch's been doing the same, but you know, unfortunately, at this point, Team Liquid's already garnered themselves a bit of a lead. You know, 2.3K ahead. They've got the first turret down. They put themselves in a relatively good position for this first Lord to come up in less than a minute here. And even so, like some of the second items already being locked in. Glowing Wand, you can see it there. Now they're putting pressure on the purple.
Yeah, no Purify still. Uranus pops in Consecration there. Ying able to survive, but the purple buff will be taken as Han rotates up top with Blink. They're going to go for a Sanford getting locked down, but it's Tsunami Slam. Han instantly with a fracture. Sanford walks up, Petrify! Is able to go for a trade in the end, but it is a turret for a tier 2 down below.
And here's the thing, Team Liquid, they have a lead, but you gotta put it into context. The lead is on Carl Teasy. Out of all the members of Team Liquid, that's the one you don't want it on, because he already has 2 items and he hurts.
Oh my god, JP.
That's just how tanky he is, man. He didn't even need the revitalize. He got they got the holy defense already too. You know, this early on, that kind of pressure. So Yangon Galacticos is gonna want to manage these lanes a little bit better. I feel like they're kind of getting out macroed. Yes, they're trying to make plays on the other side of the map, but TL's just kind of playing the map to their advantage right now. With the Lord being up, it looks like YG is actually in a position to go ahead and face off against them. This is now the point where Stitch... Oh, hold on.
Tsunami Slam again, they go all in, but Oheb is able to survive. Last shot from Lena, though. The fadeaway basic attack, I think, or was it the passive, got him down.
Oh, Lord's up. Down Oheb. And TL is still in good fighting position. Even with the numbers at disadvantage, they're going to stall this out.
Ooh.
The best they can. A Feathered Airstrike drop down, though.
Yeah. Either way, right now, Yangon Galacticos go out more.
JP has to back away there, has revitalized. Being doing the best he can to zone the members away, but Oheb is back in just a second. Sanji providing a bit more poke as Blink controls the bottom side. Han gets purple.
Yeah, Yangon Galacticos, they're actually controlling this very, very well. Now they're waiting for Team Liquid to potentially make some kind of mistake. So now it's really between Han as well as Carl Teasy, because both of them are the real, you know, wave clearers for both teams.
Yeah.
So they're going to try to play this macroly and try to catch the junglers' movements off guard.
Yeah, Han went up top, cleared that wave out. He knows it's expanding rivers, so he should be able to get here, but they already know.
Sanford with a Petrify gets the solo kill, the assassination on Stitch. You got Oheb last time, now it's 1-1 on the gold lane pickoffs.
Man, again, how many times have we seen this with the gold laners today? I don't know if they just don't expect that kind of setup and damage from the XP laners, especially Yu Zhong, but that kind of just stops in the tracks of what your plan was to go ahead and contest that Lord. So now with the Lord in favor of TL, take a look at the items here. They're prepped and ready to march towards the base. Again, that holy defense shield is down on the bottom side. So YG's gonna have to defend this. You can see still building into the itemization. Han, oh no, Feather Airstrike.
The Mountain Shocker lands, Tsunami Slam though will lock Carl Teasy. And that's him down for a while. The siege, can it continue without him?
Yeah, honestly, that's good because Carl already has 3 items, so the siege is going to be so painful. But with Sanford being there, it's going to be very difficult for Yangon Galacticos to really do anything. Well, Sanford does take a lot of damage, though.
Yeah, turns it back around, though. Gets a bit more healing. Down below, Stitch will deal with the Lord alone. So, not the best of sieges, but again, Carl Teasy got picked off.
Yeah. Right now for Yangon Galacticos, for them to really get something here, I like that they are...
Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the item. I saw two gloves for Carl, so I'm guessing he did want to go for the Sky Piercer, which I think is fair. I think it's not super punishable.
He is the main damage dealer.
Yeah, I'm wondering how this is going to play out, too, once we get towards that phase where if Yangon Galacticos is able to go ahead and defend, at least put themselves in a good position, then, you know, OHEB being on the Sora gold lane, how that'll play a part. Because, again, even when we saw it in the hands of Innocent for SRG, you know, when they were on the defense side of things, they were able to turn it around because of that base defense that we saw where you got his Savage. And, you know, it's one of the things where it's like, if YSS is gone, if he's out of the picture, then your fighting reach, your fighting potential is a little bit tougher to pull off here with this kind of lineup from Team Liquid. And so that's why you see kind of a shift now at this portion of the game on who they go for. It looks like that was already going to use Mount Chakra to go for Blink. Blink's not falling for it, still holds on to his Flicker.
I would say a big power spike for Han here, having the BOD. If anyone gets caught, then going to take a lot of damage. Quite rare for us to talk about this, but JP on this got thought with a passive and a lot of physical damage coming in from Yangon Galacticos, and his first item being the anti-caress. Does make it quite difficult for Yangon to actually get a kill as long as JP is around. Just by the passive and the anti-caress by itself, it kind of nullifies everything from Yangon Galacticos, both Han as well as Stitch.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, when these fights kind of break out here, you can see where those defensive items that are prioritized help with these team fights breaking out. Oh, set up.
All in on Ying. Even OHEB using the ultimate, but Purify just gets him out there. And OHEB's going to be coming. The Fracture goes onto the air feathered airstrike, and now it's Blink. Goes in. That's a Tsunami Slam, but it's only onto JP, who has the AOG and can escape and will be able to do so now as Carl goes in for the Mount of Chakra on Blink. Has to respect it. Sanford now rotating all the way from top.
That was a massive revitalize that came through from JP to keep OHEB alive, just barely surviving. Does get a winner's crown now available, but the Lord is up. There's a lot of push and pull between both the teams right now, and they got to wait for these ultimates to be back up. Sanji holding on to the Tsunami Slam. And it's unfortunate, and this is why I was saying, you know, the Uranus pick, it makes sense in a way that he's your guy to go get the vision, deal with a lot of these resources expended on him, towards him, and he can soak it up. But here they go.
Tsunami Slam now stolen by Sanji. It's going to be Ying who gets caught, but Sanji's caught in the midst of it on. Still able to flicker out, but JP falls. Winner crown by OHEB. He goes in. Tsunami Slam over from Blink. Sanford in the back. Furious dive on Stitch, and he gets him. Now it's Lina and Ying. Can he turn it around? Sanford!
Oh my God.
Again gets a double. Turns it around. He's just better.
Someone needs to stop Inuya, man.
Don't give him the usual anymore. There's a reason why it was picked up. First pick.
You can see that they're thinking on how to outplay it, and then Sanford's just doing it casually. Like at this point, he doesn't have to worry about it. He knows he's gonna get it. It's more on how are you gonna outplay. I'm actually more interested to see like how are you gonna respond to this.
You know, I asked the question earlier with OHEB being on the Sora. What do you do for range, especially when Carl Tizzi doesn't have that opening? Well, the range and the threat is Sanford. They have a dragon full of range available to him. Look at this. The initiation is started off with that Tsunami Slam, but keep an eye on Sanford. He goes right towards Stitch and Lina. Stitch and Lina have no choice but to get away. Nice Petrify. Gets enough of the Shaw Essence off. Under the turret, mind you. Heals up enough to go in, and just when Lina thinks, there's Sanford again to clean up under the tier 2. So that's a kill under each turret.
Against games like this, you kind of have to readjust your own habits and basically stay far away from your team. You know, be like, Nina, you take the left, Stitch, you take the right. If someone gets taken out, it's just one. We can't let both of you guys die at the same time. You got to spread out.
I think even with that, the Lord being quickly made work of, Yangon Galacticos with this composition are going to be able to clear this out at least and maintain their base turrets. That's a big thing. And I think they have to pretty much come up with a solution for this, and that is partially it. You know, the range or the positioning, both of Lina and Stitch, and avoiding Sanford. But once that they survive that Black Dragon form and it's used up, especially the Petrify, and they don't get caught by it, then they're in a pretty good position to actually fight back. That's one of the things that they can do here. This pressure on the purple buff, Feathered Airstrike to just get TL out of their jungle, but right now there's just kind of holding on. You know, 5,000 gold difference right now, but you can see Team Liquid knows their own opportunities when they want to initiate a fight. Sanford's going to get a little bit tankier now that he's got the brute force breastplate built up. And so, still, it's back to that reset. You're a minute away from this Lord here, unless somehow, some way, Yangon Galacticos can utilize Blink to set things up with a pickoff.
Yeah, but again, like, you also got to choose your targets, because last time he did get a JP, and that could actually be quite bad for the team, because so far, Yangon Galacticos, they're actually positioning quite close to each other. At that point, you don't even have to hope for Sanford to chase everyone, right? Unbreakable 5 members.
Yeah.
You could actually do that if Blink brings them closer to his team. So it is something that you have to micromanage. And Yangon Galacticos, they just got to figure out that next time that they fight, they got to spread out and basically take Team Liquid in a 1v1. 5v5 is quite difficult against Sanford when he does have that use on.
Yeah, that's why it's difficult, you know, for Blink as well. Because for the most part, you're not really going to have the range to get anybody else unless you catch them by surprise, and that most likely won't happen. You know, just kind of out in the open. They're going to have to wait for this Lord to come up and then fight for positioning.
Basically hope that Carl just traces this straight into his face.
Oh, man.
So that he can
I don't think that's going to happen.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
That's one thing Blink could hope for.
There's like 8 billion people in the world. Maybe you know, one thing can happen.
Does that affect Carl Teasy's chance of doing that? Hey, you know, it could, right? I guess there's always something possible here.
Yeah. Winner crown, by the way, for Han earlier, so he's gonna have.
By the way,
huh?
It's 8.3 billion people in the world.
Oh, W's. More and more people. Great.
Is that a W? Heck, I don't know.
Depends how you look at it.
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it.
Right now, the W is this Lord being fought for, man. Ying picking up on immortality. He's going to need that.
That
TL.
push is so scary.
Yeah, go for it. Oh, conceal was used, but it's spotted out by Ying. Ying's like, nope.
Nope.
You shall not pass, sir. Not here.
And again, look at Sanford. Holding that position here. Oh, Blink. And Han.
What are they going for? Are they going to go for their own?
I think they want to catch Carl. I think they want to catch Carl.
Yeah, they really do. But
So that's why Sanford is just waiting.
But it's going to be really, really tough, yeah, to catch Carl here. Because the whole team now knows. Because, you know, I mean, it happened twice to Carl.
I mean, the tough thing is not having these tier 1s down, too, especially in the mid lane. Oh, no. They're going to start the fight.
Yeah, Sanford in the back there, trying to go for the Furious Dive. Petrify Blink. To dash into the Tsunami Slam into the Feather Airstrike, but Sanji's still able to survive as JP pops in to revitalize. And now Sanford goes in with the Black Dragon Firm to the back again. AOJ from JP! Almost lands. Immortality gonna be down. That's Stitch with the Sky Piercer. Over Petrify! From Sanford on 3. And this time it's just a distraction for the rest of the boys to get rid of Ying. And now they have a man advantage. Blink walks up, but it's Sanji who has Tsunami Slam.
It's a good thing they didn't die because they actually were separated. Oh, hold on.
What's he?
Okay.
What's the move here?
Fracture, Tsunami Slam, Feather Airstrike coming down, but Oheb gets the kill and gets out of the Feathered Airstrike.
Wow, okay, I wasn't expecting them to pick up another kill, but because I think you could have still contested for that Lord if YG didn't lose another, but what a decision from TL and Oheb.
Yeah, honestly, Yangon Galacticos, I don't know if they're getting desperate by making this kind of plays because, again, they're doing the right things, but then they kind of like autopilot in the situation where they're putting themselves in danger. Because again, Lina and Stitch was in the flanks. No one was chasing after him. He was free hitting. And then gets close to the team, gets caught by Sanford. It's a good thing it didn't get worse. But then, I understand that Han doesn't have a lot of damage. But at the same time, the Lord is up. I don't think it's necessary for you to do that.
Yeah. This time it's evolved Lord too, man.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and walk with this one in, but pretty good clear. Feather Airstrike being dropped down too. They're just trying to hold on to the base turrets as they can. A little Revitalize being used. They're going to go for it.
Stolen Feather Airstrike, Sanji! Almost takes Lina out there. Black Dragon Form now comes in as they look to zone YG away from the mid lane base turret. Carl TZ wasn't able to find it. Now it's going to be Tsunami Slam over to JP. Doesn't have the immortality, so he goes straight down. Now it's Oheb on 2. Bringing it back, but there's no combo. Carl has him on a shocker, pulls it in. That's a good disengage now with the winner crown and the immortality by from Oheb, who turns it around. And now it's Han losing immortality, splashed out by Sanji. Only Lina and Ying. A cannon minion up top, taking the last base turret down. Carl TZ going for the passive stacks over on Ying. That's Oheb coming down. Sanji! Under turret goes in. Carl gets lasered, but he stands alive. And TL secure match point.
A phenomenal team fight to end the game there, to get game one under the belt for TL.
Again, Team Liquid, they're playing it very clean, utilizing their heroes just to get as much of the objectives for free as possible. But Yangon Galacticos, you can definitely see that they want to get the fight. They want to actually start something. So, I don't know, maybe upcoming, you got to adjust just a little bit. But looking at it at the bands, Zushin, Claude, and Lance, honestly, that is pretty good bands. What do you sacrifice to take away that Yuzong? Because I do agree, you got to take away the Yuzong. I think it might be Lance.
I think it
Maybe, but
Right, yeah, exactly.
it's like choose
Do
your...
you want to lose the Claude? Do you want to not bet the Claude,
I agree.
right?
I think it's Lance. I think I would take that over
The other
With
one,
Yuzong?
yeah, the other one is Jushin.
Jusin for Sanji would be crazy. Sanford Yuzong.
It's, you have to just
Pick
choose your
poison,
heart,
yeah.
basically, yeah.
Because it's like, people say, oh my god, you didn't bet Yuzong. It's like, we bet Claude. It's like, okay, fair. We bet Lance.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Carl. We bet Jushin. Like, that's Sanji. So,
Yeah.
there's never a good bet.
You only have so many options you can go for it, and again, because of the Yuzhong start here and just the way that Sanford plays the hero, I mean, this is, again, for a lot of our
What a guy.
viewers out there,
What
what
a
a guy. Back at M4 too, we kind of saw shades of that even here in Jakarta, Indonesia, and it hasn't changed, right? I mean, he's able to go ahead and just do so much on this hero that it's really hard to even navigate these team fights, man. I mean, as you see Yangon Galacticos team fighting, yes, they're able to start, but I think that is one of the difference makers here. Lafelle, you pointed it out. Once they get through this initial part of the team fight, it almost seems like, they kind of go on autopilot a little bit. But then TL, once again, once they see that opening again, or that opportunity again to re-engage, or just get a single kill if they can, and then that gives them the favor.
Yeah, it's not like we're even throwing a flag over to Yangon Galacticos. It's just everyone has habits, right? When you feel like you're in danger, you move a certain way. And we see that, as of right now, the habit of Stitch is that when he feels like he's in danger, he will clump up with his team, hoping that his team will basically body block things for him. But against heroes like Yuzong, Lapu, any heroes like even an Alice, this big AoE EXPs or roamers is going to cause problems. So Stitch has to figure out a way how to change his habit so that going up against big AoE EXPs, don't clump up with your mid, especially if your mid is the main target.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think earlier as well, like Stitch wasn't really fully clumped up with Lina. It was just Sanford went there and they were obviously chasing, and Sanford turned it around again. So it's like, I think at that point they needed more peel. Like they needed someone that's not Uranus. Again, we don't like the Uranus pick. And in a way, I understand what the vision was, right? There was no Shred coming in from the left side. It was a fighter comp, double fighter comp, and a Yi Sun-shin with a Valentina. So again, no Shred, but you need peel for your backline over just having that threat of a Uranus.
They might have to go for the SRG, right? Because you're right.
Yeah.
You got to peel. So have two fighters.
Two fighters, man.
Right? So now we're looking at the MVP by the official gaming phone at Realme, and it's going to be Sanford Vinuya here, 4-2 and 4. And again, it's all about that pressure.
Yeah, I like that. And that was basically what the Yuzhong was this entire game. It's you in the Black Dragon form is the most pressure that a team is going to feel.
Pressure cooker.
Yeah, that's the case for any team that faces against Yuzhong. And that's why it's 100% contention rate, right? Up to a certain point, and then some teams don't opt to go for it. And this is one of the things, too, as you look at the highlights here, because of this composition and the Uranus pick, like you guys mentioned, which is mainly providing some of that front line, but also vision, all these objectives, even with that, they weren't really able to actually go and contest them. And, once Blink was using the Tsunami Slam, of course, you also give a Tsunami Slam up to Sanji, which eventually he switched over to the Feathered Airstrike. But, there's just so many things here that Yangon Galacticos had to pay attention to and keep track of, right? Again, in a fight like this, when it looks like it's going in their favor, there's Sanford. And he's just petrifying Stitch, and Lina's around. Even in this, again, positioning-wise, Lina's not super close to him, but I don't think he
Stitch
expected...
close to Lina.
Yeah, I also don't expect... I don't think he expected Sanford to just go back and re-engage.
Look at this guy.
In there, And this is one of the things, like I said...
Look at Stitch.
Look at Stitch. Look at
He's
Lina.
already safe.
Yeah, he is safe.
And then he gets close. He likes
down
me.
below.
Oh, right there.
But at that point, it wasn't really because like Stitch wanted to get close. He wanted to deal more damage over at that point, and unfortunately, there was an awkward wall for the purple buff, and like there was no other angle.
But again, like I feel like the best way to describe this game is that for Team Liquid, they get things for free, and then for Yangon Galacticos, they have to trade.
Yeah.
Because with every kill they get, someone has to die.
Yeah. And the trades are always favorable for TL. Like if you look at it again, right, the gank on Sanford, the 3-man gank up top, it was a trade because he was somehow able to get Kalea, and it was a tier 1 for tier 2 down below. So TL are always rotating in a way where they're gonna get the better value.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe just against TL, you just got to go for a double fighter so that it's easy for you to just protect whoever is the main damage dealer. Because, yeah, I don't know. That game was very difficult for Yangon Galacticos.
Yeah, part of it though too is like you mentioned, you know, maybe also with the jungle like Nolan, yeah, you've got some decent damage through there, but because the concept here was for Blink to initiate fights, Ying mainly providing vision and being that front line, like you guys mentioned, you don't have much of a peel option, and you know Stitch, he's basically got a flicker and a dash, you know, for the most part. Lena, yeah, you can wings by wings, you also have a flicker, but it would help to have someone peeling. I mean, also think how many times JP saved someone from TL, even if it was just a revitalize, you know, or an unbreakable taunt that he was able to pull off. So JP's job was a little bit easier because of how much of a threat that Sanford was, and because Sanji was essentially tsunami slamming people too. So they just had that opportunity covered, and even Oheb, like being on the Sora here. It's not like he was always in a more of a threat. Like he was built tanky, you know, for the most part. So it was just, like you mentioned, a better trade overall whenever they got into these team fights with Yangon Galacticos.
Yeah, I feel like you got to go back to the fundamentals of MOBA, right? Which is stuns. Stuns win you games. And there's just not enough coming in from Yangon Galacticos. And I would say not easy enough to execute because Farsa has a stun, you got to connect it.